Hello everybody and welcome. About 1:45 in the afternoon here on this Sunday early afternoon. I was deadly wrong about the Jewett City flea market not having anything on the outside in cold weather. First of all, my son Tommy, his mentor, Tommy wanted to go to Jewett City Flea Market. So his mentor picked him up. Tommy has a mentor and they go out and do things together too. He wanted to go to Jewett City Flea Market, and I told Tommy the last few days, and I've been saying it, there is not going to be any outside vendors in the wintertime. They're not crazy enough to be out there. Well, boy, was I wrong. Now, Tommy did go to Jewett City Flea Market. I saw both of them up there, him and his mentor, I would say about 11 o'clock this morning, maybe a little after that. And it was about 11:30 and I left. I was there early. I was there probably, I went to McDonald's and had my egg and cheese on a biscuit and headed right up there. So I got there, I would say about 8:30. And I couldn't believe all the vendors out there. There were more vendors out there than I've ever seen in the summertime. I couldn't believe it. I had to walk around my hands in my pocket. I had a pullover hat. I didn't need it. There was no wind, thank goodness. And it was probably all of about 30 degrees out there. So I think I did pretty good. I haven't been buying on eBay. I did put a few dollars in my PayPal account, about $10 or so. It's a good thing I didn't put too much more than that in, or I wouldn't have any money to go up there. Anyways, to start small here, I got these 2 bottles of propane, which is, you remember my self-igniter torch that I bought last year, you know, before the Jewett City Flea Market, which I thought would be closed, but they're not. $3 for both of these. And they're full. So I'm taking a chance because this one don't have the white cap on it. It's not really rusty, but you know how it is. You don't know if they're any good or not, but of course they won't work in a stove like this. You know, they're not made, they're too long. They'll physically fit in there, but they're too long. You know, so your heater would be up off the floor. Also, I got these for $2. These are 3/8 inch wire clamps. I can always use those. You know, they got the, I don't know if you can see that. They got the hole in it, they clamp down, and you know, you can hold the wire down. I always have a need for those. And another set of test leads, which look like a fairly good quality one. Whenever I go anywhere, if I see test leads of any quality at all, I'll buy them. Even though I really don't have a need for one, because you never know, you might find a meter at a yard sale that don't have the leads. A lot of them don't. And these are the banana plugs that fit like the Fluke 73 and that orange meter, which has relatively cheap leads to it. But I haven't gone through the test of reading the resistance of the leads. I didn't go that far yet on that. Okay, so I picked that up. But I think the biggest deal that I've got, let me take this off the bench. This is my Mr. Heater, as you well know. Let me get these off the bench. And let me put this up on the bench. Here is another Mr. Heater. This is an older one. This one has the igniter over here. $20. The guy had several of them, an old fella that was over there, and he says it works very well. As a matter of fact, he had it in his minivan. It got too hot. He had to turn it off. It was sitting outside in 30-degree temperature, and it started up. It needs a good cleaning. It's all dirty in here, so I take the grill off and I'll clean it. So we're going to try to light it. He just put the bottle on there. It does not have the swing out bottle like my own. The bottle does not pull out and swing out like this. You have to screw it straight in. So you probably have to lay the thing on the side to do that. So let me start it. And he told me to hold this down. Now he did get it to light. He'll probably make a liar out of me now. I'm not sure. I really should get the instructions on it. Now, making a liar out of me now. Oh, there it is. Okay. I know that on the on my own propane heater, you push the knob down. You don't have the igniter button like this one does. And I just hold it down and then I turn it over, and it is now lit. And it did work for him outside too. So he says, I got to get $20 for this. I says, okay, you got a deal. So I bought it. So I don't know what model it is, but like I say, it's an older, it's Mr. Heater, but it's an older model than the one I've got, and the handle does not go down. On mine, the handle goes down, see? And the bottle swings out, see that? But the bottle does not swing out on this one. And the handle stays up. Now let me put this down on the floor here. And we'll turn it up high now. We'll see how it works. I couldn't pass it up for $20 because every once in a while, this one I could put a new bottle of gas on it and I can't get it to light. So I figured for $20 I've got a spare. I mean, if it was more than that, I'd pass on it, you know. One other item. Now, I wander around flea markets and yard sales quite a bit, and I'll circle around. And now there was a lot of vendors. And I went through the outside vendors at least 3 times today. I made the rounds. And whenever you do that, a lot of times you miss something. And this is one of the items that I missed. This was in a box on the ground, amongst other stuff that I was not interested in. It was nothing electronic at all. It's a Jewett all transistor radio, and of course I can't find my glasses. Oh, here they are. The tuning dial is broken in half. The guy said, I looked at it and I held it up, and he said, give me $3 for it. So I didn't balk at it. Vanguard, Jewett, and it don't seem to come out of the case. And looks like it takes a 9-volt transistor battery, ever ready 246 or equal. So that's probably what it takes. And I'm going to get you a close-up of this. All right, these two pieces came out of here. Just want to make sure. Let's see, windscreen, okay. There's a cardboard here, but it seems to be covering up the circuit board. And it appears that it takes a 9-volt battery, so you know what we're going to do? We've got one right here. Let me put it in. I don't expect it to work. I don't have any of these battery clips, but this is all right probably. Now let's... I doubt it works. I wouldn't expect it to.
Today's game between the Rams and Patriots marks the 9th Super Bowl appearance for New England coach Phil. Could appreciate that.
Era of NFL football where this is not.
Volume's all the way up. Oh, it probably needs to be recapped. I have no idea what these are for. Handle's broken, and it's making a little noise here. The tuning dial is, the knob is busted.
Male Max, a patent-pending formula with an ingredient that helps boost your total testosterone, promoting greater increases in muscle size and twice. To 79, 79, 79. Finally, a formula.
Needs probably a good capping.
Almost 9 million. Newcomer Miss Bala took third. And the radio pioneer.
Strictly AM.
Jim, at his charity fundraiser on March 5th at the Hunt and Fish Club on West 44th Street in Manhattan. For tickets and details, visit Finding Your Way.
There's not much you can do about this handle. Probably just
guys at Central Park, and that's what's happening. I'm Bobby Slur on Sports Radio 1019 FM and Sports Radio 66, your flagship station for New York sports. Listen to the Fan anytime and anywhere. Download the radio.com app and favorite us today. And if you have Alexa or Google, just say play WFAN and you'll be locked into the Fan.
it's all the way up. And the battery's good.
Texting and recurring automated marketing text messages. Rates may apply. Texting privacy rules and terms and conditions at
That's about it. So, made in USA. So, I don't really know how much of a job it is to recap it, but it's got a nice full-size speaker in it. I don't know if you can actually see that. It don't look like even a guy like me, I think, can probably recap this. It's plenty big enough that I'm almost certain I can recap this. Kind of musty, but then again, a lot of these things are musty. So let me turn it off here. Now it has just two knobs, on and off, and volume, and tuning. It don't look to me like all that bad. You got a screw here, you got another screw here, and perhaps one underneath this knob in order to get the radio out of the case, or maybe not, because I don't see anything in here. It's kind of like a hard press board like these things. I don't know where these came from, but they were laying inside and they probably broke off the case somewhere. And it's kind of like an awful big compartment for just a little 9-volt battery, but that's the only battery connector that I can see in here. But I gotta do some research on that. And let's go check my heater. Oh yeah, hang on a minute. Oh yeah. Now I gotta turn down high this time. Oh, she's warming up just like the other one. Nice. When I first walked into the flea market area on the outside, which is the first place I always go to, when I walked by, I spotted this. There was no price on any of these things, of course. And I wandered around, and about the third time I went through there, I asked the guy about this, and talking to him for a while, and like I say, he tried it out, and it worked very well. It took him a little while to get it started, but you got to remember we're outside in 30 degrees, but of course in this shop here, it gets down to about 30 or so in here. The other day it was 31 degrees in here, according to my thermometer on that little orange digital multimeter that I got. But a nice, I don't know if you can see it here, nice orange glow. I don't know if the camera will show that. It looks white on the camera view screen, but it's throwing off a lot of nice heat. A very good investment. Now on this meter here, one of my viewers, when I made a video of this meter that I got off of eBay, he asked me how is it on the continuity. We're going to try that out with them with the original leads that came with it, and then we'll try these leads. Because if there's too much resistance in the leads, your continuity, when you touch them fast like this, may not respond all the time because the resistance of these leads are too high. But let's try it. I have not tried. I have tried it for continuity, but I haven't seen how it goes if I go rapidly with it. So let me get you up on the tripod again. All right. These are the leads that came with the meter. Now let's go fast. Nothing wrong with that. All right, so let's try the other leads that I got at the flea market. I got to clean these probes up. They're pretty filthy. Not sure which way to twist. Some people twist left-handed, some people twist right-handed. Okay. Yeah, the probes are a little bit dirty, not too bad. So they're an off-brand. No, it said Fluke on them. it says Fluke. I'm using the ZE1. But that doesn't mean anything because it could be a fake Fluke. But the leads say Fluke. So let's find out. Let's put, let these drop down here and put these in. And here. I'm going to put the light on, but it won't stay on very long. Okay, let's turn that irritating noise off. We got 0 ohms here, but we're not 100% sure because the meter may always give 0 ohms, but when you put the leads together, usually you get about 1/10 of an ohm, 2/10 of an ohm on the leads. But we're getting total 0, no resistance whatsoever. So, alright, so these leads work very well. And we'll put these on the bench and we'll plug in the other ones. Now you can tell that they're a lot cheaper. As a matter of fact, I'm going to probably use the Fluke leads on this. These are the leads that came with that orange meter. You can see it's quite a difference in quality. Alright, let's check the well, I went to 0 anyways. There's nothing wrong with these leads. Meter takes a long time to 0 though. No, 3/10 of an ohm. Alright, so you know what we're going to do with that, don't you? We're going to use the Fluke leads on this. I'll get a little cleaner and clean the... you can see that the wire is heavier. When you go to these flea markets, always look in the boxes. That's where these leads were. Not the same box that this radio was in. There's a different vendor altogether. So, we got the Fluke leads now. Let me turn that buzzer off there. Okay, nothing wrong with that. 0 or 1/10 of an ohm, no problem. So we got ourselves a set of Fluke leads for my, I don't know, $16 meter or whatever it was that I bought on eBay a week or two ago. So I think I did pretty good today, and the moral of the story is, as long as it isn't brutally cold and in the single numbers, and it's not windy, I'm going to go to Jewett City. I've been missing out on a lot because I honestly believe that Jewett City outdoor vendors were not around, but obviously they're hardy souls, and I've talked to a few outside vendors today. Actually, I talked to about 3 of them, and they say, oh yes, we're here, we don't care if it's snowing, as long as it isn't a blizzard. I says, even with snow on the ground? They said, oh yes, we're out here. Well, they don't care. They're a hardy bunch. But there's a couple of them out there that won't, you know, they were getting an arm and a leg for stuff. One guy had a little tiny needle nose pliers for precision work, and I held it up. It was in a box of stuff. box of junk, pliers, screwdrivers, nothing of value. And this looked like it was American made, and it was only a little thing about that tall. And I held it up. I figured $1 or $2. $7. I said, whoa! And I walked away. I didn't want to open my mouth to say any more. I was going to say, I don't want to buy the whole box now. I just want that one needle nose. So, some people think that they're going to get rich out there. You know, from what I understand, they're charged $25 for a spot. And if they have a trailer behind their car or truck, they're charged for 2 spots. Inside, it's double. It's like $50 or more. You know, and you can keep your stuff there and you just pay so much, I guess. So, I covered the entire flea market inside twice, first and second floor, and 3 times, as I said, on the outside. So that's the verdict of that. And I don't know what Tommy's going to pick up when he comes back. Hopefully he does good also. But there was nothing much that I saw over there that he would have been interested in. But he'll cover all the areas that I've covered anyway, so it's not going to matter. The only thing I don't go in for is the games. I couldn't care less about that. Or even the DVDs, because there aren't any good DVD movies out there. A lot of the stuff I never heard of and not interested in it. Okay, I'm going to end this video now. I did want to put it out to you and let you know that I'm very happy that I'm glad I did go. It was a last-minute decision on my part. I guess what influenced me and got me to go is because Tommy said he was going with his mentor, and I kept telling him, you're not going to have anything out there. You're going to have to deal with everybody inside the building, and the bargains are on the outside. The best bargains are on the outside. But I was wrong. Yes, I was wrong. Here's a quick little update. Just before I ended the video, or at least wise I supposedly ended the video, my heater went out, the one I just picked up. Well, the flame was sputtering, the pilot was sputtering there, so we got some 91% isopropyl alcohol, and we cleaned the orifice down there where the gas comes out. And that's one of the procedures that you're supposed to one of the maintenance things you're supposed to do with these heaters. So I get a Q-tip in there, but you take off most of the cotton, and you put it in isopropyl alcohol, and you clean it. You go down the thing there, and now it's burning good, and the flame is bigger. Before, the flame was fluttering and jumping, and you can hear it. So that's all, because the bottle is almost full. So at first I thought it was out of gas. So you can plainly see it's running good. So if you have one of these, there's procedures online to show you how to clean them. You just take off. All of a sudden, my coughing my head off here. It's not from the heater either. The only way to stop that is take some cough drops or something. You just take this off. It's a little job getting this off and getting it back on again. But that's what you got to do. And it was very, very dusty inside, all in the black area here. It was very, very dusty. So she's running good. And what I'm going to do now is to shut it off. The safety works good. I'll show you. No. I guess not. Made a liar out of me. Nope. That's weird. All right. Guess we got to shut it off. Right now it's on low, I believe. I got the lights off in the shop. Oh, it's not on low. It's on pilot. This is low. Runs better on high. It's just like mine. It doesn't like to run on low. But you can see the pilot is pretty good there. It's looking good. See? I'll try to get in the little, get in the light here a little bit so that I can you can see it. It's on low right now, but you can still see it's glowing. Now it's on pilot, and now it's off. Okay, but the safety switch did work, because I just moved it a little bit and it went out. That's when I first got it, but something changed. The only thing is, you see this gap here? There's no gap here. There's no screws. There's no apparent screws to hold it in. These holes here are for this grate to go in here. Okay, so there's no screws here, so this end piece here seems to be loose, but there's no way to tighten it in. I really don't know how these things come apart. I've seen videos on them taking it apart, but I wouldn't do it. So it works, but I pushed it in. That's a hanger. You're supposed to hang it on the wall. Hey, but there's no screws, because you can see it. It would look like a screw would go in here or in here to hold it, in the same way with here, but that's not the case. That's all one piece. So I guess it snaps in, but I'm not going to worry about it. It works. That's all that counts. Okay, this is the end of the video. I think I did pretty good on this. I never leave these things unattended anyways. They only are used when I am in the shop. That's it.